Yo, what is good, Jets Nation? Welcome back to Jets Media. This is Richie, and in this video, I'm going to give you guys my recap to the Jets-Panthers game. As you guys know, I was there. I am now back at the hotel in Charlotte, and wow, I got a lot to talk about in this one. Obviously, we lost 19-14, and it definitely sucks. The first half was really hard to watch, but the second half gave us a lot of promise, especially from Zach Wilson. We got some injury news to go over, unfortunately, with Mekhi Becton, Braden Mann, Shaman Sherwood, but there are some positives to take away from this game, but at the end of the day, we did not get the W. So in this video, I'm going to give you guys my thoughts, what I took away from it the most, my overall experience going to Bank of America Stadium, which was awesome. So with that being said, let's just hop right into the video, guys. So first off, we know what to expect going into this game, right? What do we need to do in order to win? And that was win at the line of scrimmage. What did the Jets do? They lost at the line of scrimmage. The offensive line and defensive line did not do their jobs. Offensive line, they did not open up holes for the running backs. They also did not give Zach Wilson time to throw. On the other side of the ball, defensively, we did not get to Sam Darnold at all. We got one sack, and that was like the first drive after the second half from John Franklin Myers. Other than that, Sam Darnold had all day long to throw. If you guys watched my flight preview video, you guys know I said the recipe for success in this game is to get to Sam Darnold, and the pass rush was simply not there. And you guys know what this system is all about on defense and offense. On offense, if you cannot establish a run game, the offense is not going to do anything. On the defense, if you cannot get to the quarterback, the defense is not going to really do anything. But I will say the defense did their job. The defense did a lot really good today, and that was just making sure that they stayed out of the end zone. You know, only 19 points. At first, the defense was keeping us in the game. The offense was playing catch-up. But, man, let's go over the first half and all the stats. So, first off, the first half was really hard to watch. Zach Wilson was running for his life. He was missing throws. He threw an absolute bomb to Elijah Moore. That was, I don't even know how he got that ball off, and it was an accurate pass. But it was in Elijah Moore's hands, and he dropped it. But that was a very contested catch. I'm not expecting Elijah to come down with that. But seriously, guys, let's get over these stats. So Zach Wilson finished 20 for 37, 258 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and he ran one in for a 2-point conversion. So Zach Wilson had a very interesting game. First half, he looked very bad. And I'm not blaming it all on him, but at the end of the day, he was missing some throws. He was indecisive with the ball. He was trying to avoid sacks, and he couldn't. The offensive line did not help Zach Wilson whatsoever. Neither did the running game, because that's what's supposed to help out a rookie quarterback, is by establishing a run game to set up the play action. Also, I'm pretty sure I counted 5 drop passes from wide receivers. Michael Carter dropped the pass, Elijah Moore. A lot of guys dropped wide open passes, so that did not get Zach Wilson into rhythm. But what does Zach Wilson do in the second half? He comes out here with vengeance, and he absolutely lights it up because the Jets finally protected him. Bittersweet, Zach Wilson's first touchdown of his career happened when Mekhi Becton went down with an injury, but that touchdown was a thing of beauty. This is why Zach Wilson went number 2 overall. His ability to improvise, roll to the right, found Corey Davis wide open in the end zone, and man, Corey Davis, I cannot wait to talk about him because he is definitely a number 1 receiver. He proved that because he had a game. But Zach Wilson came out in the second half, looked way more confident, way more in control, poised in the pocket, making the right reads, making the right throws, and avoiding pressure, not taking as many sacks. But at the end of the day, the offensive line did not help Zach Wilson whatsoever. In garbage time, and I wouldn't even call it garbage time, honestly, because like with a minute and a half left, it's only a 2-score game. And if the Jets recovered an onside kick, obviously, which they did not, they could get, the ball back and win. So I wouldn't really say it's garbage time, all these stats that Zach had late in the game, because he found Corey Davis again in the end zone. And that was after Zach Wilson got absolutely destroyed. He got sacked. 2 players went on him and slammed him to the ground. And from my perspective at the stadium, I was like, oh my God, I hope Wilson is okay, because that was definitely his welcome to the NFL moment. That was pretty insane. He got up a little gingerly and he talked to the media after the game, and he said, yeah, that was I had to bounce back from that. I wasn't injured at all, but getting hit that hard in the NFL kind of woke me up. But what does he do? 2 plays later, he goes to Corey Davis, his number 1 target, for the touchdown, and Zach Wilson finishes with a pretty good stat line, and I'm very confident what I saw from Zach Wilson. First half, I definitely was a little nervous, but at the same time, I knew in the back of my head this offensive line's not helping him out. The receivers are not catching the balls. What's going on? A little fun fact real quick. Here's a picture of me and Zach Wilson's father and his 2 brothers. During halftime, I was just walking around the stadium with my dad, and all of a sudden I'm like, that's Mike Wilson, Zach Wilson's dad. And his entire family was there. Nobody noticed them but me. And I'm like, do I go up to them and say what's good? Like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, you know what? I feel like they're nice people. So I went up to Mike Wilson, Zach's dad, shook his hand, took a picture. So it was awesome to meet them. But on another note, let's get into Corey Davis, because Corey Davis finished with 5 receptions, 97 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He definitely was, the guy that Zach Wilson loved to get the ball to the most. He definitely proved to be the number 1 receiver. All of us were hyping up Corey Davis to be that number 1 option. We've been waiting for that number 1 receiver for so long, and Corey Davis definitely showed up with 2 touchdowns and just over 100 yards. And then let's go over the rest of the stats on offense before we flip to the defensive side of the ball. Braxton Berrios had 5 receptions for 51 yards. Denzel Mims did not play the entire game. Don't ask me why. I'm pretty upset about it. I think he was on the field for 2 snaps, and one of those snaps was a 40-yard reception. Zach Wilson improvised, stepped up in the pocket, threw a gorgeous pass down the sideline to Denzel Mims. I don't know why Denzel was not getting playing time, especially with Keelan Cole and Crowder out, but we will see what happens later on throughout the season. And then Elijah Moore, unfortunately, he had a pretty disappointing rookie debut. He finished with 1 reception for -3 yards, and that 1 reception wasn't even like a real reception. It was an end around. It was one of those touch passes where Zach throws it to him, and he lost 3 yards. He had a couple drops. But I don't really think Zach Wilson targeted him that much. I know that he had 1 drop early in the game, but it was like a low throw, and I'm not putting that much stock into that. And then Zach kept trying to fly the ball downfield to Elijah Moore. And the first one I mentioned earlier in the video was a crazy throw. There was a defender draped all over Elijah Moore, but it did hit his hands. We need him to start catching those, because Jets fans, including myself, has been hyping up Elijah Moore to be something special, and I still have all the confidence in the world for him to be that guy that we're expecting him to become. So it is good to see that Zach Wilson kept going to Elijah Moore down the field. He tried a bomb late in the game as well, but it was double covered, and there's nothing really Elijah Moore can do there. But at the end of the day, I'm not really too concerned with him at all. Now let's get into the running game real quick. This is where the offense just did not do anything. If you're going to run the ball in 1st and 10, you can't get 1 or 2 yards every single time. That's what really set this offense back throughout the entire game. You need to be able to get 5 yards, 4 yards on 1st down to set up 2nd and 5, because if you don't do that, the offense is not going to be able to be fluid. So Tevin Coleman had 9 carries for 24 yards, averaging 2.7 yards per carry. Ty Johnson, 4 carries, 15 yards, 3.8 yards per carry. Michael Carter, 4 carries, 6 yards with 1.5 yards per carry. So none of the running backs did anything, and I'm not really putting too much stock in the running game more than it's just the offensive line not getting any push. There was no holes for these guys to go through, and that's really the story of this entire game. Offensively, the offensive line cannot get Zach Wilson time, and they cannot open up holes in the run game, and that's really frustrating. I don't know how many times Zach got sacked, but I think it's definitely 5+ or 6 or 7 even, because he was running for his life at all times. I mean, his arm sleeve was ripped by the end of the 1st quarter because he was on the turf that much. Man, it was frustrating to watch. But now let's get to the defensive side of the ball, and it's the same story. But the line of scrimmage, we lost. We cannot get to Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold all day to throw the ball. It was insane. And they also just had a really good game plan for Sam. You got to tip your caps to Matt Rule and Joe Brady. We know what Sam Darnold's good at, and they really maximized Sam Darnold's talent, which is getting rid of the ball quickly. They did not ask Sam Darnold to do that much. They relied on Christian McCaffrey. Sam had an incredible touchdown throw to Robbie Anderson, which, gave Jets fans, including myself, a little like, wow, I can't believe that just happened. But other than that one pass from Sam Darnold, he didn't do that much. I mean, he missed a couple easy throws in the touchdown that bailed us out, and he gave us every opportunity to come back in this game. But what I'm trying to say is, if you can't get to Sam Darnold pressure-wise, you've only had 1 sack. He's not going to throw interceptions. He's not going to do all the turnovers that we became so accustomed to on the Jets, because the reason why he was turning the ball over in the Jets is because of the pressure in his face at all times. So now you see what happens. Sam Darnold's in a system, and we thought the Panthers' offensive line was not going to be good. We were dead wrong. Our defensive line cannot get any push, cannot get any time to get to Sam Darnold, and Sam got rid of the ball very quickly. Whenever the pocket did collapse, he checked it down, and that's a smart quarterback play. But overall, Sam Darnold, he looked like a good quarterback. He looked like exactly what I expect from Sam. He did not light it up by any means. He had a lot of short passes. Other than that really amazing throw to Robbie Anderson, he didn't do that much. But at the end of the day, he was a game manager. He managed a game, and he was a winning quarterback. So shout out to Sam. It was great watching, Sam versus Zach live, but it's definitely a little salty feeling that we did not get the W. So now let's get into the unfortunate news with the injuries. Actually, before we go into the injuries, I got something else to say, positively speaking, about the defense. So the one thing I did notice on defense that was very good is Bryce Hall, number one cornerback, had a pretty good game. He maintained Robbie Anderson. Other than that one touchdown, I think was the safety's fault. Sheldrick Redwine and Marcus May blew the coverage down the field. But Bryce Hall was all over the place, as well as rookie Michael Carter II. Early in the game, he had a very crucial third down pass deflection. I saw that very close. I was like, wow, that was a very good play from a rookie cornerback. So those are two bright spots that I noticed on defense. John Franklin Myers definitely deserves a positive note because he's the only player that had a sack on the entire defense. So that's really it. The pass rush did not get to the quarterback. We cannot contain Christian McCaffrey, and that really held this team back. But I really think that the offense lost us this game because the first half just completely, we couldn't get any momentum, and that's what's going to happen. Now, to finish off the video, the injury news. Braden Mann got injured, but Matt Amendola, our kicker, stepped in as the punter, and he looked really good. So hopefully Braden Mann's okay. We know the second-year punter. We have high expectations from him. And then Mekhi Becton, this is the worst one of them all. We just found out that it is indeed a sprained MCL, and that's not confirmed. They still have to do further testing on MRI. So if further testing came out after this video and it's not a sprained MCL, please, don't heart me on the comments. But I will say this: if it is a sprained MCL, that's really good news based on what that injury looked like. And it's just so unfortunate that Zach Wilson's first touchdown of his career, that had to happen. Mekhi going down. Like, I was so jubilant. Zach Wilson threw the touchdown. I was going crazy. I hugged my dad. I'm like, let's go, let's go. And then a Panthers fan tapped me on the back, and I'm wearing my Mekhi jersey. He's like, yo, your boy's down. I'm like, what do you mean? And I look and I see Mekhi on the ground, and then immediately just like, wow, what a turn of events. We get a positive touchdown, and then Mekhi's on the floor in a fluky injury, man. He was blocking his guy. Greg Van Roten pushed somebody into his leg, and that's just a fluky injury. That's not injury. That's not being injury prone. That just happens. It's football. It's a violent game, and it's unfortunate. So hopefully good news comes out of Mekhi Becton. I also noticed Jamian Sherwood, the rookie linebacker, got injured in the first series. I don't know what injured him. I think it was his ankle or his foot, but I don't think he played for the rest of the game after that. And other than that, guys, that's really my recap to this game. I'm honestly looking at this as a positive simply because what Zach Wilson showed me in the second half and what Corey Davis showed as a number one receiver. He showed really good connection with his rookie quarterback, and that is such a good sign for this young team. We also have to ground ourselves and understand the expectations for this Jets team going into the season. Obviously, we want a Week 1 W over Sam Darnold and the Carolina Panthers, but we're a very young team, rookie head coach, rookie offensive coordinator, rookie quarterback. Everything's brand new. Everything's going to be a slow and steady process. I'm expecting this Jets team to look like a completely different one by like Week 10 or something. Like, as every single game, they're going to learn from their mistakes and form an identity, and I genuinely still believe that. Zach Wilson showed a lot of promise in that second half, and I'm not just saying that. I am not someone that's just going to, toot Zach Wilson's horn because he's our Jets quarterback. I'm going to be critical when he's not playing well, and I will admit he was not playing well whatsoever in the first half, and I was concerned. I was texting my buddies. I'm like, yo, Zach doesn't look good. Like, he needs to really hone in, and that is exactly what he did. So that's my thoughts of this recap, guys. I had a lot to say. I'm still in this Charlotte hotel. I'm going to be flying back tomorrow, so stay tuned for a live stream with Jack and Ali. And yeah, like the video if you guys enjoyed. Comment down below your thoughts of this game. Definitely unfortunate that we lost, but at the end of the day, I'm not too upset with this loss. I'm not kidding. So stay tuned for more Jets content. I appreciate all the love. Comment down below a Jet emoji if you stayed until the end, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Let's go Jets. Peace.